Okay, recording in progress now. And let's get the levels on here. We got Apple. Now you can see, guys, we got like, what, 10 lines here. It's all the same, really. But this is from PK. He was explaining to me yesterday how to not just have 4 lines, but many lines. So if you want, you can ask him. Really great. Just another way of manipulating the Fibonacci tool. And just makes life a little easier. Anyways, I'm doing the same thing here. 30-minute chart, 8 a.m. candle, just a high and low, and then you have lines up and down. Same old thing. Okay, let's get rid of the old ones, put the new ones. Wow, these candles are small today, huh? There it is, 8 a.m. There it is. You know what, guys? Actually, I've done this before, not recently, but many times over the years, where show up and go through the exact procedure that I would normally do for trading, but don't plan to trade at all. So it becomes a day of observing, and you really do acquire a different perspective. I've done it in the past when I've been struggling in my trading, not sure what to do. Just showing up like this, being in the chat room, but you going through your own procedure, not even paper trading. So it's been really useful, I gotta say. So once in a while, try that out. I'm doing it today. AMD is a decent large candle there. PK, are you here? These lines are so good, man. They're so easy, this tool. Thanks for that suggestion.
Good morning, and you're welcome.
Yeah. Can you believe it? The day I'm not trading, I've actually got it so easy on the charts. But, yeah, this one's all colorful. Get that one on. Where is it? Ratchet, you want the config? Yeah, I can do that. PK, would you care to talk through it if you got a moment? Otherwise, I'll get through it as soon as I put the lines on here.
I would in the afternoon or after the open, Avi. At the moment, I'm not in a position to do so.
Sure. No worries. Thank you. Yeah, Ratchet, I'll get you this a little later. Get the details out there. Share the config, screenshots, all that stuff. All right. Meta. So intense, always intense. All right, we've got the lines on the charts. Same old measured moves, nothing new. Let's get through what looks like decent setups. And a bit into the session, we'll talk about the little tool we got here. Let's see. Oh, shit, man, that looks interesting. Can't tell on the SPY. I think I have the wrong lines on the SPY here. Yeah, it's not the right place. That's 8 a.m. No, that's it. Okay, that's fine. So the SPY to me looks like a great big choppy mess. It's been choppy for a few days. So I wouldn't trust it. You know what? There's something to be said for zooming it out. The lines are here, high and low at 8 a.m., but let's zoom it out or put it further back, get some perspective on things. If you look at Apple, bullish yesterday, basically a great big ABCD pattern. And pretty much yesterday's high is the low of the 8 a.m. candle, pretty close to yesterday's high. It's got the top of the 8 a.m. candle, which looks like decent consolidation. So a breakout of 224.50 makes sense. Right now, it looks like it's opened quite low in the range. but something to keep an eye on for probably a little later into the open. It's got to get up there and consolidate around 224.40, and perhaps there's something. Yes, it's a good idea to move all these lines out a little bit. They're too low. See this? On Microsoft, you can't really see what the price action is with the lines all in the way, so let's just put it back. Make sure, of course, they're in the right place. But further left on the chart. That's 8 a.m. and I get a picture. Microsoft's just a great big mess as well. Oops. AMD as well. So AMD, you got rejection of yesterday's high, which is the same place as 2 days ago. But it's not a reversal pattern. It's not a big double top or anything. It just got there and it's consolidating in that zone. So I don't see a setup on it at the moment. Let's go into NVIDIA. What do we have? It's been bullish. Now it's been bearish. I don't see a setup though again. Maybe a breakdown that's happening now, but it's not convincing. So let's see Tesla also. I don't see anything going on. I think I gotta get these lines in the right place. I'm a little unsure about what I'm looking at. Yeah. So no, I don't see anything. I really don't see anything here at all. It's amazing. So just Apple for now, which looks like it will happen later, not now. But Amazon, interesting, bullish, and then similar to Apple, not as good. Again, possible breakout 207, but again, it's not convincing. I'm gonna wait and watch. Meta was the interesting one. Let's get into it. Oops. When I look at Meta, I get so nervous I can't even type it right. There's 4 letters. I can't type it every time. Just because it's Meta. There it is. Okay, 8 a.m. So bullish, and I'm beginning to see a lower high. I was thinking I was seeing a double top, but it's not there. Huh. If anything, it's weak. You're looking for a consolidation breakdown, but again, I don't see a setup here. Look at Google. That's the last one. Google's generally quite weak. Let's see. So there's a candle. Huh. What's interesting is Google's been bullish, went down, and put in this big hammer, but now it's getting weak. This is all going to be a mess. It's all contradictory. It's super weak. Then it puts in this bullish hammer. Now it's getting weak. I mean, what are you going to do with this? So avoid Google, at least at the open. It looks like a disaster. SPY, maybe a breakout, but really there's nothing in it. You have, I think Apple's the only real interesting one for a break of 224.50. NVIDIA is generally in a downtrend. Actually, NVIDIA is the only one really in a trend compared to everything else. It's the only one that seems to have a genuine direction, but no setup. I mean, that's also at a place of support, right? That gap that happened a few days ago. It easily bounce off of that. I wouldn't trust it at the open. So for now, the only thing that I can see is Apple. Right there. It's basically an ABCD pattern for break to the upside. Well, now it goes down. Let's see what happens. Anyone else see anything else? Anything worth looking at?
Avi, so the ABCD pattern and all the patterns which set up in the pre-market time work in the market time also?
Oh yeah. Well, all the time. Pre-market breakouts, all this stuff. Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Cool. What I'm missing in the chat. Some time ago. Anyways, we'll go through it. We'll go through it after the open. No big deal. Yeah. Dan, that's right. Yeah, it's the same thing. Equal distance levels. Click around more.
that's basically it. Nice little convenience. You know, Apple, but Nvidia again, like I was telling you, it's the only thing with the direction. Out of support, clear support. It was resistance turn support. There's two ways to see this. One is it bounces, so this breakout, and then it's a retest. Wait, was it a breakout? It's kind of hard to call this a breakout, really. It did. You're just looking at a line. Basically, fractal patterns going back about a year. How I used to do it was this is firm support. This level is pretty amazing. It was resistance turned support. Very obvious with this gap. Right now it's support. If it bounces off, that's the first play. You can see that it's been support. It's continuing to be support, so it's bouncing off. The buyers are buying it there. You can go long there. The other play is that it is setting up for a breakdown. And if it breaks down, then let it come back up and retest it. You can see all that on a 1 minute chart. So there's two plays on NVIDIA. Plan A, I'd say, is the long. Plan B is the short. I would look at that. That's actually the best opportunity. Apple just not working, going the other way. So anyways, that's what I think. Here comes the market about to open. So watch your levels, watch your strategies, wait for it. Let's have a look. NVIDIA. It's bouncing for now. You see it bouncing off the level already 3-4 times, 118.50. I may have taken a long here by now. Trying to add in later. No, it's going there. Where's the bounce? You see it's still pre-market low, still holding. Now's the stop out right there. Made a new low. So now it's a clear breakdown. I'd wait for it to pull up and retest. What's it doing here? Let's see. It's very messy. You need more of a clear retest. I wouldn't go short anywhere here. Even though it may just run short, you need a good one. It's still a support area for now. So that would be one stop. Let it hold above the area, 118.50. If it really goes up and holds above 118.50 is where I'd go long again. Ooh, that's interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. There's two bounces. No. Ooh. It's not holding. Oh, it's a big mess. Oof. Big mess. Let's see. Okay, that's a strong piece of action, but not holding. You might want to take, if you're taking long now, I'd put the stop below the entire price action, so 118.10, and you enter right about here somewhere. I might take this long as a second long with a stop way below, a wide stop, and try to tighten it as it goes. So there you go, one stop out, second entry. Let's see what it wants. Sure, AMD went right up. Get that AMD for a breakout. 115. What else is good? Let's look at AMD for a moment. Whoa. There. So what I'm beginning to see is that it basically hit its head on this level here. Now it's breaking out of the level, out of the consolidation. On a 1 minute, the setup's not there. There's no way I would take this breakout. I'd really wait for it. 1 minute. Well, maybe I would have taken it a few minutes ago on a 30-minute perspective, but I think it's tricky. I think it's very dangerous. I wouldn't take it. What else is good here? Apple's pushing back upwards. Apple's become a real disaster. It looked good earlier, but can't do anything with it now. So NVIDIA would stop out again. So that would be two stops I would have taken by now on NVIDIA. And now it's bearish, truly bearish. So next idea is it comes back up and retests the area about 118.40 or so. Then there's a short in it. For now, it's all bearish. So that's plan B of the fractal patterns. Again, that's the presentation I did last year in Vancouver with fractal patterns, plan A, plan B. Those are interesting. Those are more like support resistance plays rather than naked trading candlestick pattern plays. Wow, what a mess. What's going on today? So Meta went short. If you guys were able to pick that, I'm definitely not able to pick that. Good Meta here. Just telling you guys earlier that it looks like the highs are getting lower, and sure enough, it made a move down, but I don't see a setup to get into that. Nvidia's tough, man. Look at that thing. Price action's just a mess. It's not even worth looking at. There it is. You see, very weak, and then putting in a hammer. It just hard to trade. One of those tricky days, tricky open at least. Trying to see if there's anything here that we're not able to see yet. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Anyone see anything or catch anything? 'Cause I certainly don't see anything worth it.
Avi AMD.
AMD, you got it? Yeah. Yeah, it's moving. It's a mess on a 1 minute chart, man. There's nothing in it. It's just straight up. Well, where are you gonna get in? You know, on a 30-minute, you see that it broke out of a resistance area. It's not ideal because for a good breakout, you want the consolidation to happen right under the level. You know, it should be sitting there for a while. This looks like more a case of it was consolidating yesterday and then it broke out of yesterday's intraday range, or it broke out in the end of the day yesterday. Then did a retest in the pre-market. Now it's going. It's just messy. I can't trust this stuff. It's not the way I like to trade. There are setups, there are strategies, but not something that I can trust. Apple is getting back up to where we were thinking about going long earlier. Right up in this area, 224.40. So that consolidation there is good, but on the 1 minute, it's really got to sit there for a bit under that level, I believe. So you wouldn't go long here. You know, this is dangerous. It's going to mess with you. A good breakout comes after a consolidation. So I would not play with this. Amazon is complicated. And everything's complicated, at least to my eyes. Now NVIDIA, look at it. NVIDIA goes the other way. Maybe that long is on now, or is it a short? This is the tricky part about trading the fractal patterns the old way. Plan A, plan B, and you can take quite a few stops before you figure out which one's working. So you can see this as a breakout and a retest and going down, but it's all bullish from down here. And you know this area is an area of bigger term support. Is this a false breakout? You know, so you can ask yourself a lot of questions and get really confused. So I don't trade that way anymore. For now, it's more just simple fractal patterns. So on NVIDIA, if it was simple fractal patterns the way I trade these days, I would never think of it as long. I would think of it as this is a consolidation before the open, looking for a short. And yeah, the short happened. Here's a retest of the breakout, and off it goes. There would be no possibility to go long. Again, but also it's not an ideal setup. It was really messy. I don't think I would even pick this thing for the way I trade these days. The old way of trading, yeah, I would have taken a couple of stops on this. Oh, where's AMD? See that thing's just not going anywhere. Big mess. Apple is the one I think that could set up consolidating right there below the level. If that 1 minute chart just really makes an ascending wedge or something and sits down there, that would be interesting. That'd be the one I'd be interested in trading. It's the only one that looks good. That looked good all the way from the open. Would you enter here? New high? Yeah, that's it. That's the entry. Boom. You're in it. And the stop, I'd put it 224.10 below the previous resistance because it could easily come back and retest. So basically halfway in the range, a little even below it. That consolidation was 3 candles. And you wide stop, so you're not giving it a lot of size. And then you plan to add in. So I'd be really wide on this and then add in towards 220, 225. Let's see if that would work. The stop was 224.10. I have SPY, interesting. Oh, SPY's looking good. SPY's very similar to Apple. Now it's getting there. Now I'm thinking it's consolidating, ready for a breakout. Here we go. 30-minute look good. 1 minute, there's a breakout. Just happening now. Tricky one. The stop has to be below the entry candle. I would have entered this by now with a wide stop. There it is. Whoa, what happened? That looks like news. This is the second time it happened. It happened yesterday too. You guys remember this? Things just popped. What happens quite often these days? But anyways, the entry would be there. You probably get stopped out on that wick unless it skipped your fill. It could easily skip with how fast this moved. So the stop would be below the entry candle, so about 575.50 or so. Well, 575.55, right about there. Tricky one. Tricky. Look at that. Apple still wouldn't have stopped you out. Still be in it. The SPY, of course, is really messy. Really tricky day, huh? Let's see if NVIDIA would work. NVIDIA is just impossible. Yeah, things are just not behaving. Nothing's behaving. It's amazing if you guys can catch something. Today's one of those days. I know I'd take 4 or 5 stops in the first 10 minutes. If I stopped on the SPY, I would have re-entered this one, at the open of this candle, or right when that previous one closed. There you go, long. And I'd wait for a chance to add into it. Very interesting. See, Meta went the other way, so I don't trust it. Very hard to trust these patterns. Yeah, very hard to add it on the SPY too. Where would you add? How would you add? You just be in this trade. Maybe I'm not trading. That's why I see things as difficult. I don't know. Actually, I'm trading and the perception might be different. It's always a good exercise, though. See how jumpy the SPY is? Something's going on. Is there news or something? So that was weird. That one big jump earlier was really weird. Really complicated. So you would have entered earlier. If you didn't, if it skipped your stop, you'd still be in it. Even if it did stop you, I would have entered anyway, re-entered with the same stop below the previous candle, the big one. It would be basically 575.55. Ideally, I want to move the stop in closer to about 575.70, which means you have an opportunity to add. But I don't see an opportunity to add here. What are you saying, Srinivas? Amazon's cleaner? Yeah, Amazon went down, but let's have a look. I don't know much about it. It's the 1 minute, cleaner, but let's see, on the strategy I play, there's no way to short this. I wouldn't short it anywhere today. I wouldn't even look at it really. On the 1 minute, you can see that there's the opening range. I can't say it's cleaner, I'll be honest. It's not as clean. I think it's messy. It's about as tough as NVIDIA at the moment. And Apple. Wow, look at AMD, guys. Yeah, shit, man. Ugh. A crappy day. Look at that. Up and then down. You would have thought that was a breakout, but anyways, it wouldn't have been a good breakout because the pattern wasn't quite there. And sure enough, it's going the other way.
Have you checked Tesla?
What's that? Sorry?
Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla's another mess. See that? It's I don't see a pattern. It's generally bullish, but what do you see? Let's go into the 1 minute. What do you see on the 1 minute? Yeah, it's all wiki, maybe an ORB shaping up now, maybe, but there's no way to trust this. Look, every candle has wicks on both sides. and they're just, a lot of them are just overlapping each other. Today is one of those days what it looks like where, when people say don't trade triple witching or whatever, it should be like this when people say that. Could anyone have said that today? I certainly don't know. I don't have any of those rules where, don't trade today because of whatever reason. I just show up and watch the price action. And if it's choppy, that means you stop out once or twice and you can end the day like that. No big deal. You still don't blow up. There it goes. Apple. Now there's an entry maybe. Is it? No, not there. Not there. It's almost there. There it is. Now's the entry. Long Apple. That's the one to catch. The breakout happened that high of day. So I've entered just a moment ago with a stop down here about 224.35. It's very interesting. The higher lows, the break, and you're looking at the new high, which I was watching it as it was going. It just kept pushing it and eventually did it. So the stop would be down here someplace or below the level someplace. And on this breakout, that looks good. It's holding above. Ideally, a good consolidation, then a run up. And I would go, 225 should have lots of liquidity. I would actually de-risk at 225. I wouldn't even look at that as a target. Be de-risking it. Try and add again above it. There it goes, 225. This is where you minimize the risk. So take some of that position off. You could stick it at break even, or I would probably just not bring it at break even yet. Still keep it below the level. That's the only one that seems to be interesting. It's the only one that actually looked decent before the open as well.
Avi, can you take a look at AMD? I'm shorting it from high of the day, but and it's used the level. I'm just wondering, aside from taking partials, should I let it go when it's like this?
Well, what's your strategy? Do you have a short thesis on this?
I'm shorted from the high of the day at the 1 minute candle at 9:35.
Yeah, I see that. That's a great entry. It happened to go. What's your target? Where was your target when you got into this? What was in your mind?
Right now, it was this 113.70. This was the level that I had. I want to take a partial, but it's just a curiosity that should I let it go when it's selling like this, or should I just?
I'd say take your partials at your targets, and then leave maybe 10% to let the rest 10% run. You already got what you wanted, right? You got your plan. It worked.
Yes. Yeah.
The rest is all just a bonus.
Okay.
So leave a bit on, and maybe you can even add to that bit because you're very nicely in the money. Your break even is so far away. So that's what I would do. That's a great short. I don't know how you caught that. That's great, man. Amazing. Yeah, this is where you could add some, made a new low of day or broke low of day, so you can add back in on that. So now you'd be back up to, let's say you had 100 shares, you took off 90, now you'd be back up to 20.
Yeah, I look at the volume. You don't have any volume at that candle that week. It was kind of a good volume, but it didn't push it up. So I thought that maybe it would be a good short.
Okay. Oh, cool. That works. That works nicely. You're working with volume and such things, probably moving averages as well. See, I would never short this. No way. Not with this price action. I still wouldn't be short on this.
Maybe it was my lucky day.
Yeah, hey, it's your strategy. If your strategy is there, you must take the trade. That's important. I would have taken probably 3 so far or 4 and taken most of them as stop outs and maybe 1 partial trade. So that's my strategy. On a day like today, it would be quite complicated. My strategy didn't even show itself before the open. So I was playing with NVIDIA with my old strategy. That's a good reason I don't use that anymore. So Apple is still messy. He would have taken those partials and got out at break even, or maybe survived even the pullback so far. At least the way I do it. So you get the entry, de-risk it. You may or may not have survived this pullback, depending on where your stop is. Or if you're just at break even, you'd be out. Now I don't know what to tell you about Apple. It's messy. There's nothing telling me anything of direction. Nvidia down. Yeah, AMD's like super weak. My goodness. Just going. Wow. That's amazing. This is the cleanest price action today on a 1 minute perspective. Great short. Yeah, I would never catch this short. There goes Amazon as well. Very
Yeah,
weak.
I'm taking Amazon short from that breakout as well, and it's just hitting my target 2362. This is the level.
Nice. Now you got to share your strategy with everyone in here, man. You're making
I'm using your strategy cut somehow.
mine. This is not my
No,
strategy.
I'm saying that in general. I was waiting
That's
for the
awesome.
breakout, and I took it from that breakout of that level.
Okay.
But the multiple
Break down.
tests of the 5 minutes and the 1 minute. Yeah.
Yeah, you're using a 5 and the 1. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, on a 30, there's no entry on this, but that's cool. Yeah, things are just moving. They had the ORB area, retest halfway in the range, breakthrough, and retest again the previous range. Things just goes in waves. That Elliott wave thing. Wow. Apple's a great big mess, mostly bullish, but a great big mess. We have Nvidia and AMD very weak, along with Amazon and Meta. Gosh, Meta. What do you do with Meta? What the hell do you do with this thing? I don't have that strategy on the 30-minute lower highs and off you go. It has to be a clear reversal double top or continuation or something. It was none of that today. And here, there's no breakdown from me. I don't trade it like this. There's just nothing. So, but hey, it's weak. Oh, the SPY is super weak. My goodness. What a mess, huh? See, in the SPY, what's interesting, if it puts in a very long tail bearish hammer with a tiny body, that would be an indication of a reversal down. On the other hand, if it puts one of those great big long tail hammers in a bullish perspective, the new high is the move up because this is basically a continuation. So this can be either a continuation going up or reversal going down, or for now, on this 30-minute chart, it's just stuck there. It's not going anywhere. Well, it's not telling you it's going to go anywhere. It could go anywhere, but without telling you. So, wow, Meta did a little break of yesterday's low. This is so hard to trade. Nvidia is also very weak but messy. Wow. Yeah, today Tesla is the day trader's graveyard so far. Cool. Anyone catch anything else interesting? I mean, seriously, my trading style would suck today. It's absolutely the worst thing. Whew.
This is because Trump said today that tariffs will be lenient and will be lesser than reciprocal.
So it's to be lenient. Oh man, so no volatility. That's what explains the choppy activity here. No real moves in the direction. Oh no. Okay. Take the rest of the year off, guys. It's gonna be a messy market. That's just today, or not even today. It's just the open so far. It's only been 30 minutes, you know. Markets always provide opportunities. Always. It's a gold mine.
And the other bad news is, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Treasury set to lay off substantial number of employees. That's the second bad news.
Sorry, who's laying off employees?
Treasury says.
Oh, the Treasury. Oh.
Yeah.
Those guys don't do anything anyway. There's a lot of redundant garbage in the modern Western world. It's become really inefficient. Normal cycle of empires, really. Nothing unusual. Man, okay, everything on my screen is going down. Pretty much. I don't have a trade on anything here, but everything looks weak. This is one of those days where you sit and wait and come back in the afternoon. Normally I would take a few stops early in the day and then come back after 2 hours and find something. But Amazon, however, is the most interesting on the 30-minute perspective. It's going to take a while to set up. What you see is this consolidation area, and then the breakout happened yesterday, and now it's just come right back to where it broke out from. If that happens to be a retest of that breakout, here you go. You have a bounce off of this 203.50 zone. Let's see. On a 1 minute, you need to see it's bearish and then a reversal setup. You don't have it yet, but that would be something I'd be interested in. What's also interesting is all these levels are unusually close together compared to most days, except maybe AMD is a wide one. AMD and NVIDIA. Everything else pretty tight.
Avi, Apple is holding relatively strong, so it has a strength compared to the rest of the market. So it's the way. I mean, I think it's the way we can take a long base on this data.
I don't trade that relative strength and relative weakness stuff. It's interesting to look at, but I don't make decisions based on that. That is not reliable enough for me. People do it all the time. So as soon as things turn around, Apple's about to pop and go. So you can get ready for that long as soon as the SPY looks like it's going to start. So you can look at the SPY and then look at something like Apple. But I've not found consistency with that strategy. So I'd suggest be careful with it unless you've back tested it and you know what you're doing with it. Be careful with it.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is this reversal happening here on Amazon? It's a retest of a breakout. On a 1 minute here, it looks like a reversal. Well, that's a fractal pattern for you. Funny how patterns look, huh? They just flip them upside down and it's the same direction. Gotta love that. NVIDIA is unbelievably weak. All that AI buzz and all that nonsense and shit. What happened? What happened? You guys call yourself investors and hold it for a month? That's not investing, man. 1 minute perspective, a near perfect setup. ORB breakout, retest, go down, fractal pattern plan B sort of thing from a year ago. I don't really trade that anymore. Just weak. Where's it going now? All the way down here where it found massive buyers. So again, fractal pattern the way I used to do it. This is not a breakout, but this is where the buyers were before, so maybe they're still there. But this is not like a breakout and then a retest. It's not that. This is the old way of doing fractal patterns. Again, good reason I don't do it anymore. The win rate's just not good enough. So Amazon's not doing it. Yep, go ahead. Hey.
Could you explain that again on NVDA, please?
Yeah, just a moment. I will get right back to it. Amazon looked like earlier I was looking for that retest of the breakout, but clearly that's not happening. It's just continuing to be weak. So NVIDIA, to put it very simply, it's been super weak, and now it's come to an area where there was a massive buy when it was weak previously, and it's just ripped from there. It's not been back here since. So these buyers, you can see this whole area where the buyers were, right in this zone from the last week or so. So maybe those buyers are still there. Maybe here's the reversal. That's about it. What was support continues to be support. Unless it breaks through, then it's not. That's fractal patterns. But that's fractal patterns that I used to trade last year. I don't trade this stuff anymore. For me to go long would be something like a retest of a breakout or a genuine reversal pattern. I'm not seeing any of that here. The way I trade nowadays, there's nothing here to trade. Just absolutely nothing. So I wouldn't touch it.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Everything just ripped downwards. Oh, man.
On NVIDIA, on 20th of March, which is like 4 days back, 5 days back, there was a death reversal in simple moving averages.
Mm-hmm. On what? On a 30-minute perspective, or what are you looking at?
No, daily perspective.
Okay. Daily chart on the 20th of March. These charts are a mess right now. Yeah. So was it a 50 SMA or something? What was it?
50 SMA crossed down 200 SMA.
Yeah. Yep. So there's a lot of theories about how to use these moving averages, and you got to understand moving averages are momentum indicators. If you're truly trading momentum, that's great. Use them. What I do is none of that. So if you have a strategy on it that you believe in, okay, use it. Again, any strategy will have its win rate, which means you will have losses in it. Always there. So see that if you're convinced about that crossover, and it's your strategy on the daily chart crossover, then use it. I don't typically like using that. It gets too complicated, especially on the daily chart, because now you're looking at more swing trading, which you're looking at momentum on the daily perspective. So it gets messy with day trading, and then it's momentum, which means you have to take a lot of partials. You have to exit quickly. You can't really target massive moves. So these are the things that I don't like about moving averages. But again, if it's what you are convinced about, if it makes sense to you, then use it. To me, it doesn't add up. Everything's still bearish for now. Got pullbacks and stuff, but generally speaking, these 30-minute charts, everything looks like this. And Apple with its relative strength, but it's, you can't get involved in it. I would have tried it earlier, got partials on it, but that would be it. On a breakout, but nothing else. Google, nothing there. Man. Death Cross. Oh, there you go, Andrea. Death Cross. Thank you. That's what it's called. 250. Yeah. I think Peter likes to use that a lot. The Death Cross. Peter and I think Eamon as well. I don't know. I've gone through all these things over the years, and just some things that, like, for me, I haven't looked at them in years now, to the point where I don't even know how they work anymore. Like moving averages. I'm like, what? What is that? So that kind of thing. Anyone green today? Anyone red today so far? The day's hardly begun. It's only an hour or half an hour. I know if I was trading today, I'd probably be quite massively red so far. And then just sit and wait. Because right now, again, I don't see anything setting up. So I'd have to wait for these 30-minute candles to close for any other setups. Roy, yeah, the SPY was a mess, really a mess. It is messy on a 30-minute perspective as well. A potential breakout earlier, I was talking about that, maybe catch that, but again, it wasn't really ideal, You can see that before the open. I've done that too in the past, when in days like this where your strategy before the open doesn't provide you your setups, and just sit out the open, come back 2 hours later. I've done that many times, just not recently. Recently, I've had plenty of opportunities. Whoa, here comes a jump. Anyone see that? Everything jumped upward. That's the second time today now, having things just pop. Again, is there news? 10 a.m. stuff? I didn't look at it. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was 8:30. There was news. 10. Nothing truly worth listening to.
I think if there is any news, it should be around 9:39-ish, 9:40, because when I'm looking at Qs, usually the volume at the first minute is very high. It's the highest of the day normally. But now I'm
Mhm.
looking at 939, and then it's the equal volume. You don't have the volume here, but I can tell you. And then from that time, everything starts selling off.
Yeah, so that's the thing. There was no new schedule that I know of, and that jump happened. That was up here. Yeah, 9:39. This jump right here, this candle. Yeah, I don't know why, or I don't know what the tweet was.
The only thing that I found in Bazinga was Trump talking about tariff again, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why you have stops in place, right? Stuff like this happens. You don't blow up an account. You can come back the next day. Can't predict things. And these days, things seem to be happening quite a lot, as in random news at random times, random tweets, or stuff like that. Cool. Wow, everything's a mess. Oof. Anyways, I'm still here for another 25 minutes or so, guys. Anything you want to discuss? Let me know. I'm not trading, so I have plenty of mental capacity available for now. So 30-minute charts for everything for me, and again, nothing. Another nice sunset today. What do we have? Oh yeah, Dan, those fib lines, yeah. Okay, so when I try to share my configuration here, it never shows. What I'll do is take a screenshot of it. I think that'll be the easy way. Oh man. Okay, there we go. I think I got all of it here. So you guys can't even see the menu that's open right now on my screen. So that sharing function doesn't work.
The new fib lines are actually were shared by Piyush on the 27th of Feb in the Q&A channel. So for anyone
Right.
looking for instructions, they can go
Beautiful.
to the 27th of Feb and you'll find
Awesome.
it.
Awesome. Thanks. I'll put it in now again as well, just the screenshot of the configuration. So 27th, so it's about a month back. And there you go. I think Piyush put in all the description and stuff. What I've put in today is just the screenshot of the configuration. So there you go. That should be that should work. Should probably save this. I know I'm going to get a million people asking about it in BBT. Okay, there we go. Cool. Thanks for going and finding that all the way a month ago. It's a lot of chat to go through. There we go. I have a novice trader today posting it up as well. Slightly different, but yeah, it would work differently. Cool. That works. All right. So I'm seeing a dead market today so far. Again, still nothing. Oh, excuse me. Wow.
At least slightly green on Tesla.
You're slightly green on Tesla.
Yeah, I took a short.
You took a shower on
Short.
Tesla.
Short. Short.
I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry, I was surfing all morning. I got seawater in my ears. I can't. Short. All right. Shorts makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Down.
Have you,
Cool. Yeah.
can you have a look on AMD? I mean, it broke down really hard. 30 minutes is very, very bearish. It's retesting the 30-minute level again, which is 112.
Yeah. See, what I like is a consolidation before I take a breakout, so you don't have that here. The other way to see it is it's broken yesterday's low. But I don't trade those levels, those traumatic levels. I don't really do them anymore. But yeah, so that strategy is there. I mean, that's what I used to trade last year. I would have taken this short. Yeah, and on the 1 minute, it's there. But my strategy keeps me out of these kinds of situations. Generally, they're extended. When you don't have a consolidation on a 30-minute, and look, it's already extended, it may just go back the other way or just get chopped up in this area.
Oh, consolidation on the 30 minutes, you mean? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You see this consolidation here. And
that reason you're out. Okay.
Yeah. And it has to be a specific type of consolidation too. It has to be always hitting itself on that level.
On that level for the breakdown or breakup. Got it. Okay. Thanks, Avi. Appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. So that's why for me, there's nothing to trade.
Consolidation on 30 minutes. Yeah, right now, nothing. I mean,
everything's gone. Now you look for big reversals or big continuations, which will take a couple hours to form. Yeah, generally everything's weak. There's no reversal anywhere. So, but has been weak. Now to continue to be weak, I don't know. No idea. Yeah, Tesla is really pushing down. AMD, I mean, Apple's just a disaster. SPY is a mess. Oddly enough, SPY is the one thing that's not extended, but it's not set up either. You're all laughing in the chat for, huh? Nvidia is the same thing. You guys can tell me it broke out here. I wouldn't short Nvidia. Down here where it is now, I wouldn't short Nvidia because it has to consolidate before it goes. Over here, it was there. It wasn't ideal as a consolidation that I like to see. On any other day, maybe I would have taken it, but yeah, it's not ideal. The old way of trading.
Ideal because it's not moving between the levels, or it's not enough.
It's not a consolidation before a breakout. The best breakouts happen right after consolidations. So look at it. Like here, this is a consolidation right above the level, kept smacking into the level, and then it did break down. So I'm always looking for that. I won't trade it in these areas unless it's a big reversal setup or a big continuation setup, a big reverse ABCD on a 30-minute chart, which will take 2 or 3 hours to form. So there's nothing there.
So Avi, so when you say use the word consolidation, so how much the previous candle to that matters? So now in Nvidia, so it is all bearish, previous to 30-minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this candle is the previous candle is a bearish candle, but it started from a breakout of a consolidation, right? Consolidated, then breakout, and it's been bearish, and this whole breakout may continue for now. It looks like it's going to continue. But I wouldn't enter a short here. I'd enter a short here, perhaps, if I was able to spot this and all this whole thing. I wouldn't enter it here. I may add here. I wouldn't add more risk. I'd still keep it all at break even, and even down here, maybe, right? But I would only enter these breakouts after consolidations. I would not enter it on the way. It's already halfway. It could, this could be the end of the move. I don't know. I have no idea, right? So I don't trust it when it's just on the way and then you're just in it later on, which is basically chasing the price action. That's how you get really messed up. You don't want to chase it. So again, this is my rule book these days, which is incredibly strict. It was not always like this. Last year, I would have taken some of these. Man, that's how I see it. The best breakouts happen after consolidations, not just right through levels.
And this NVIDIA was like pretty much clear from the pre-market, even like so that it is bearish.
Yeah, if you're able to see it, I don't think I saw this. I think I was looking more like it's support here and support there, which is, and that's the old strategy I used to use, which clearly didn't work. I would be careful because you know what? Even though this is consolidating, hitting itself on this level, it just keeps bouncing off it. You see, it's not even closing a candle close to the level. It's all got these bullish wicks. So I'd be very careful with this. I don't think I would see this as a good setup before the open.
But if you go like somewhere at the opening, yes, this kind of like so around 6 a.m. If you look at it like so, one level it broke, then it is like never able to make a new high after that, like so around like 120 at 6 a.m. around 120.
Well, 6 a.m. for you, it's 6 p.m. here, man. I don't know what you're talking about. But the thing is, you know, there's consolidations, right? But within consolidations, there's different types of consolidations. This is not an ideal one because the buyers are there. They're putting in these wicks. It could easily just push up. I don't know. I wouldn't trust this. The way I trade these days, I wouldn't trust this. I would not even taken it long because I don't trade that strategy. In the old days, I would have taken this one. I was talking about that at the open, but I don't use that strategy these days.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, you know, types of consolidations. Yeah, Gaten, go ahead.
Yes, I had a question about it's rather technical question for DOS trade because I'm not used to DOS trader, especially for backtesting purposes. If you want to return to, let's say, 2 months ago on a 30-minute chart, always when I open my DOS platform, I have a 30-minute chart and it only shows like 2 days or 3 days, and then I have to click on the left side of the chart like crazy until I have 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Is there another way to do it?
Yeah, use the roller on your mouse and roll it. That's what I do.
No, you can just go to the data. If you right click and then go to the data configuration, then you can choose like maybe 100 days for 30 minutes. That's what I think there is. So it'll show you directly like the whole picture. Then you can zoom in using the shift, pressing the shift key, and then clicking making a square.
Okay,
that'll be much easier.
Great, thank you. And is there that way you can also jump to a specific date, probably?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, we got some scripts here in the chat. Thanks, Samanjit. And Shane suggesting a hotkey for time frames. Yeah, people use that too. Hotkeys for time frames. You can use that. Set it up if you'd like. I don't have any of those, so I don't know much about it. But there's many possibilities in DOS. So yeah, get the data right first. Get the data configured.
Hey, Abby, I was listening to what you're talking about NVIDIA. I think there's something to be said also when you know a price action is going to move in a certain way, but you still don't take the trade. There's something to be said about that, which I think later on builds into your having a stronger playbook and your rules, and more importantly, working on your patience. Like, I took a trade today on NVIDIA, which was a trade book of mine. I got out at a target. I saw it form again, but I didn't take it, even though I know it was going to drop. And that's a big win for me because, you know, a few months ago, I would probably would have chased it and took that trade. So.
Yeah. No, that's great. Fantastic point. Thanks for sharing that. You got to stick to your playbook, even though your instincts may tell you it's going to go in this direction. Don't just go chasing it because that'll lead you to a bad place very quickly, in a few days. So, no, well done. Really, that is a win. That's a great win. So, good lesson for everyone here. Just remember what Salim just said. Really important. Stick to your strategy no matter what, even if you feel like it's going to go. And I think where that becomes most dangerous for most people is after a few losing trades. And you slowly start to, almost subconsciously, which is very powerful, start to abandon certain rules in your trade book. And you think, just this time I'll take it. I know it's going to go. And it may work, or you may blow it up. And if it works, that's even worse because you blow it up the next day doing the same thing. So stick to your playbook no matter what. Take your stops no matter what. Take 10 stops if you need to, if that's in your playbook. That's fine. But don't do anything outside of your playbook unless it's really you verified and confirmed now it's a new playbook and you've written it down, you've tested it, you've done all that stuff. Then it's okay. Very good point. Thanks for sharing that. And great job winning on this today.
Avi, are you gonna be in the webinar room BBT today?
Oh no, today no. We've canceled that one today. Today is Pierre is gonna do it. He's on the Wednesday schedule anyway. We'll get back to the regular programming after Vancouver, basically in a couple of weeks. Got to get all that sorted out over there in Canada, and then back to.
Avi, can you see the chart of SPY on 1 minute and like? Is there a settlement and then it is breaking down or what?
On a 1 minute, what a disaster. Oh my God. It went short and it's stuck here. That's all it's done. Again, the SPY is the worst thing to look at. It's always messy. But listen, it's not telling you it's going to break down. Even twice that it got to where it is right now, it found serious buyers. I don't know if it's going to break down or go. This time it did. Poof. Oh, man. Can you trade that? By the time you enter that, it's already gone. And you get a terrible fill. But there's nothing there telling you that it may go because you have lower highs. You don't really have a flat bottom. You kind of have these wicks here. This is impossible. This could easily whip the other way. So again, this is dangerous. That's why I don't like the 1 minute chart. I won't even look at it until 30-minute conviction first. And then if the 1 minute makes sense, then you might have a chance. So think of it that way. This is very tricky.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. The SPY is tough, guys. As in, it's the price action on the SPY is so hard to read. So hard. Roger, you got some feedback coming through, I think.
Hey, Avi, can you please look at Meta?
Yeah. Why Meta? Why? All short. Again, yeah, it's all weak and continuing to move down. Again, I don't see a trade in this. I don't see as in to enter anywhere now. It's just on the move. There's no setup. There's no consolidation to break out from. There's no reversal. There's no continuation setup like a big reverse ABCD on the 30-minute. There's nothing there. So again, I won't trade it here. On the 1 minute, well, you had this kind of choppy zone. Then it did a breakout of that zone and basically retested it. That's a reverse ABCD there. If you like trading this kind of stuff, it's there. And a pull up, which retested that previous low. Again, that's a retest. That's the short area. It gets to break that low and hasn't retested it yet. It may do later. Don't know. But this is all Wyckoff, right? You have a range. You have one leg and what is it? That's basically two legs. I wouldn't even trust on a third leg. I think it's already done it. That's how I see it. Again, if you're trading 1 minute stuff, yeah, you'll find 10 trades on this today. But for me, there's nothing here.
Right.
Meta, Tesla, SPY. Today's one of those days I bet if I come back later in the day, get massive trades, get like two massive ones. Most likely continuations to the downside.
Everything reaches at the level like from where they break out. Almost. If you look at Tesla, this 271 level is holding from last 2 days. Meta is like 609 previous resistance.
Mm-hmm.
It might be going there.
Yeah. So that is interesting. That's a good point. Again, this is the way I used to trade fractal patterns before. I would have identified this as support on Tesla around where it is now. You have yesterday's low, basically, right in this area. And down here, I would be already looking at a 1 minute chart for a reversal. Doesn't matter if the 30-minute is completely red. But now my trade book's much more precise. I would wait for a reversal setup on a 30-minute, then maybe look at the 1 minute. So it's much more strict. So yeah, there's ways to do it. So you might find buyers here. If you can identify the buyers here. And when I used to do this, I used to look at the tape a lot, the tape and the level 2. rather than leaning in on just candlestick patterns. I find this leaning in on candlestick patterns on a 30-minute picture much more precise, a much higher win rate, more conviction.
Will it be possible for you, like, okay, because you always share like the 1 minute after taking the trade, just to show like, okay, so what you did, like, okay, with the previous 30 minute, what was doing. So that will be really great, like to see like, okay, how you enter after looking at the 30 minute, what indication you got it, like, so what was the 30-minute looks like.
All right. Yeah, we could do that. So let's say on Tesla, for example, let's say I identified that it's going to break down at the open, right? You have this area. Let's say I saw it as a consolidation and a breakdown, and you can see at the open on the 1 minute, on 30-minute, already broke down before the open. So before the open, I'd already now go into the 1 minute chart and ready for it. If it pops up here into this area and breaks down on a 1 minute, then I'll take the short. So let's get into the 1 minute right at the open. You could see here. It opened, it went up and rejected. I may have entered short very aggressively, very quickly with a stop above the candle. And then maybe I would have stopped out, maybe not. Let's say I stopped out on the second one. No big deal, because if it really was truly bearish still, I would re-enter it very quickly, like 10 seconds after stopping out. And the stop would be this time above the entry candle itself. And I'm targeting this area down here. And knowing opening momentum, once I see this indecision stuff happening, maybe over here I de-risk it and maybe stick it at break even, or perhaps just keep the loss. And then of course the trade doesn't work and it's sitting up here. But then what's interesting is in this area, I'd see this indecision, then I'd see a super bearish candle, then I see even this candle rejecting the level near precisely. And I'm thinking, okay, now here comes the retest of the breakdown. To me, the breakdown already happened in the pre-market. We can even say it happened here just after the open. And this is just a retest. And here's where I'm getting real confidence that this retest is complete. So it'd be in this area, maybe at the top of this candle, perhaps, where I'd get short and put the stop above the area. And you have a target, get some off. And on a lot of days, nowadays, actually, I skip 1 or 2 levels because these levels are really small on Tesla. So I might just de-risk a little as in make my stop at break even once it gets to the level and hold it, maybe even add more because this is a pretty good reverse ABCD. Bring the new break even down here, about 281. And that's the real target down there. The rest is bonus. So that's how I would see it, the way I trade today. But of course, on the 30-minute itself, it didn't look like anything to me. So I wouldn't have traded this anyway.
So it makes sense. Thank you.
Avi, so which candle would you add if you were to add? It's based on the description they were saying.
Yeah, so down here, so what I'm seeing is a reverse ABCD pattern. I like this reverse hammer, got some room to the left. The new 1 minute low is a very good place to add with a stop right above it at about 281. So the first entry would be here, add over here, bring the stop in right there. At this point, I mean, it's all break even anyway. It's a break even stop. It's risk free. And you're going straight to the target down there. This is the best place to add. I don't see any other place to really add unless you're aggressive and you add here as well.
Without the volume candles, what are some tips that you can share to kind of help me understand that that's actually part of the normal pullback versus it reversing on you?
Yeah, there's volume can help with that stuff. I've intentionally stopped using it because, like I said, it can help with that stuff. For me, it's always been confusing. It never really helped. It was always 50-50. If there's heavier volume, then trust that candle with the heavy volume, basically. You got a big reverse hammer or something with big volume, okay, trust that one. And you lean in on that and you go with that direction. It's all of the 50-50, and I'm actually much more accurate without looking at the volume, just looking purely at candles at levels, not just candles, but candles at levels. And I find the accuracy is much better.
So what does those 3 candles tell you that makes you think that without the volume bars, that it's just a normal pullback and it's a good spot to potentially add?
This 280 area, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. The key thing for me here is, firstly, the way it broke down. It broke this big candle at 956 was big and aggressive. It broke the day's low. It even broke right through the zone, right? And it's pure bearish activity. So this is already telling me this is a good breakout. As in, this was a support area, straight up, straight down. So very aggressive. You can't really catch that. That's hard to catch. So wait for the retest. So before it even does a retest, I'm already ready for it. I'm waiting for it. And here comes a retest. Sure enough, you know, for retest, it goes back up. So you get bullish activity. In the red one, now you're getting indecision. Basically, 2 candles in a row, indecision, the white and the red one. Then the next one with the reverse hammer with the longer tail, and the tail has room to the left. That's the key one for me. It's actually this candle, which got set up by the 2 previous indecision ones. But even without the indecision ones, with just this kind of candle on a retest perspective, I think I'd be pretty good about taking this short. And then once it closes, the new 1 minute low is the adding area. That's the naked trading strategy. And ideally, the stop, the most sensible stop is above the tail of that candle, of the reverse hammer. So you're up, you have the retest. And this candle structure is near perfect because the breakdown is aggressive. Then you have the pull up. And at the pull up, then you have some indecision. And then you have the reverse hammer. I mean, what else do you want? You know, it's all in one place. And then the new low. It's great. I mean, this price pattern is really ideal. It's what you want to see. It's actually all written in the Forex books, naked trading Forex. It's exactly how it should be.
Hey,
So,
Avi, are the levels? I think you may need to adjust your levels on Tesla because
is that right? 8 a.m.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's a tiny bit off, huh? Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Because if you adjust that, then it'll be perfect.
Really? Thanks for spotting that. Let's get this right. There's a lot of lines on the chart now. I gotta find a way to make it cleaner to look at. There we go. All right, so that should be more precise. Oh wow, yeah, that is precise. Look at that. Thank you. There you go. Brilliant. Yeah, now you can see it, that opening range, false breakout, then the breakout, the retest is perfect. Whoa. Yeah, and you'd even added the next one even. Because look at that, even the next one, you had the breakout, then the retest with the hammer, with the room to the left, a new 1 minute lows, another add, and you go again. There you go. Wow, what a difference that makes. Just a few pennies on the level, huh?
Because I took this was the short that I was talking about.
You took this from 277?
280.
Oh, nice, 280. Nice, yeah.
Then I added at 277.
Nice. Oh, this is
I
great.
had some problem holding to the target for the next leg, but I did well for the first one.
Okay. Yeah, that's tricky. You want to catch the second leg, so keep maybe 20% on the table and add to it.
Yes.
Yep. Cool.
Avi, so reading at this, I might have, like, if I were to add, I might have probably gone in around like where's like 10:10, right after that white hammer. So the next candle, right after the next candle after that. So would that have been a bad way of reading the candles, that's actually not a good spot to add?
I think it's okay. It's not ideal because you're not being patient enough. And look, at this time of the day, you're already past the first 30 minutes. You should have a little more patience than just jumping in on the next candle, right? Give it 4 or 5 candles for a retest. You know, it could easily do exactly what it's done here. You can see it's like 4 or 5 candles here. It pushes, it retests, it consolidates, it sits in one area for a while. Compared to at the open in the first 3 minutes, it'll do all this within 30 seconds. So again, speed of the market is something to get used to. What speed is the market functioning at? Obviously, it's very fast at the open and it slows down gradually. So that's something to really be aware of. Once you get that feel, then I think you'll be in a better place to know how long to wait for it. And usually, to make it very simple, later in the day, let's say after the first 30 minutes, just wait for perfect patterns. You just wait for it. So you don't know what speed it's working at. No big deal. Just wait for it to look ideal, just like in the textbooks. If you do that, most of the time you'll find yourself patient enough. So you're not taking these half-baked kind of candle setups. And then you're in a better place.
Awesome. So that as the day slows down, also wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, just wait because it's all slower. All slower, yeah. Or the other thing that I like to do, look at a 30-minute chart. There's no trade on it. For another 3 hours, there's nothing on it. So that's another one. So hope that helps. Yeah.
Hi, Avi.
Yeah, Danny, go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, just that Tesla's chart is interesting to me because just to throw a spin on things, I've been drawing the levels using the 5-minute orb. So I take the 5-minute candle and I draw it using the high and low of the 5-minute candle.
Yep.
And it seems to work out because, you know, the 5-minute orb is a popular trading method.
Yep.
So I use levels based on that. It kind of works out the same on your sample there.
Yeah. Now, 5 minutes great. A lot of people like it. You get a lot of the, like you said, 5-minute ORBs. The reason I don't like it is because you get a lot of 2-hour trades. I go much bigger than that. I go with the 30-minute. So I'm having totally different targets and entries and such things. But hey, nothing wrong with the 5-minute. A lot of people like it. What's good is you get a resolution fairly quickly. You enter a trade, you don't have to wait for hours till it goes somewhere. You already get your momentum breakout. 2 hours or something is usually what you get when you're good at it. So nothing wrong with it. It's fine. If you're happy with that, that's good. You find consistency, that's good. It's a good thing.
Yep. Thanks.
Sure. What am I missing here, guys? We got Salim. What do you got on the volume candles? You can see decreasing volume on Tesla. Indicates a pullback. Oh yeah. There you go. Perfect. Thank you, Salim. There you go, Rachel. Salim got you some insight in the chat here about how to use volume.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yep. I got to say, guys, with volume, I mean, there's plenty of books and stuff out there, but realistically, the Japanese candlestick book I always recommend, there's a little tiny section on volume in there. That's all you ever need. Everything else I've ever read is just kind of taking that little paragraph and making it 100 pages. Really. So just look at that, you know.
Hey, Abby, I think there's something to be said as well too. I know everyone asks, how do you do this? How do you do that? I think the most important thing is what makes sense to you and what you can read. Other people can read, like, for example, like you read candlesticks just on candlesticks. Like I can't do that. I need some sort of other confirmation. And so although I can read candlesticks, I need volume to help. So I think it's important for people to understand that it's like reading a book. You have to know how to read it. And whatever comes to you and pops out to you, what makes sense to you, that's what you have to build your strategy and your trade book around and work with that.
Yeah. Again, really well said. Thanks. Absolutely true. You got to build your own strategy and it has to make sense to you. For me, candles make sense. Everything else confuses me. At least in the context of candles, everything contradicts what I'm looking at on candles. So I only look at candles. But yeah, a lot of people look at a lot of things and none of them is wrong. Everything is right. There's no right and wrong way to trade. But it's got to be, your trading has to be, or your strategy has to be a reflection of your personality. As in, what are you able to perceive? What do you like to perceive? What looks pretty to your eyes? What comes easy to you? And also, what's your temperament? What's your appetite for risk and reward? Your patience? All that stuff. Once you get a good grip on building your strategy that way, then you'll end up with your original strategy, which will be sustainable because now you're not fighting yourself. You're basically leaning in on your instincts, right? Taking advantage of your natural instincts, which is very, very, very powerful. So good stuff, man. Good stuff, Salim. I've seen you struggle through it the last couple of years, but here you are now, man. You got this. It's awesome. All right, guys. Last few minutes here. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to discuss. And we'll end this session shortly and be on our way to Vancouver. Oh my gosh, like a 30-hour flight again. It's the last time I'm doing this. Seriously, it's so far.
Hey, Avi, can I add one?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, Avi, can I add one extension onto what Salim said regarding either volume or candles or whatnot? And that is, none of these tools can be taken in a vacuum. They have to be read in context. So what those lines and the overall read from, let's say, the higher time frame, the 30 minutes, matters, because Even if you read a certain candle pattern, that can be a fake, it could be real, never quite know. But when Avi says that you don't even take the candle patterns unless they're at a level, level provides context. So volume does the same for me also. It does provide some context, but I could never take that as an absolute.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. Again, well said. Thank you. Context. Yeah, one blind thing is not going to work. You guys seen me trade the 1 minute chart blindly, right? With nothing else. I tried that a few months ago. It's too many fake outs. So yeah, you need context. I use a bigger time frame and levels. So, but that's just me. You have volume, you have level 2, you have the tape. Everyone leans in on different things. So definitely need it. There you go. Thanks, Ryan. Confluence. There you go. I never really understood that word confluence, but yeah, whatever. It's there. I call it fractal patterns. That's what makes sense to me. So yeah, it's got to make sense to you. Context. Look at this Tesla reversal. Boom. Who's catching this breakout? Can almost see it happen. Good stuff. Thanks, Piyush. Yeah, that's good. Good stuff, guys. I love it. Always fun when you're not trading. You can actually discuss more things. Daniel's futures markets, not at the moment. I mean, I'm having some trouble with options. It's not too much of a big deal yet. When I have a big problem, then I'll slowly start looking into other things. Like when I'm really becoming a liquidity problem. For now, it's becoming a problem, but it's not a big enough problem. Still quite satisfied with it. Cool. Anyone else got any last couple of things you want to discuss?
Not a discussion, but just one point. Avi, I'm new in your mentorship group, and just one observation that I can have to my fellow mentees that are joining your group. I tried to copy you, to be honest, at the beginning, and I realized it's not a good idea. Your buying power is high. You're trading options. If you stay in a trade for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or something like that, you can make 10 grand, 20 grand, which is a good thing. But that's the strategy that worked for you. But for me, that I'm just using a funded account, the buying power is just 50K. And then if I want to trade that opening breakout, something like that, it hits me hard. So I try to not copy you and then stick to my own strategy, which is take away from yours. But it's just a matter of I'm trying to say that copying moderators may not be a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, thanks for saying that. And my strategy is a little different than what you described as buying power and such things. But anyways, never copy anybody. You will blow up. Everyone tries that. Everyone. You're not the only one in here. Even in BBT, everyone copied Andrew at first. I did too. Just don't do it. Yeah, but good. I'm glad you've recognized that fairly quickly, and you can, move away from that. Yeah, Shane, go ahead.
Yeah, as far as copying trades and stuff, friends, wife, I'm having rough time keeping on the green side. And my wife's just like, well, why don't you just copy what Avi does? It's impossible. I never know when he's going to take a trade, when he wants to get out, where his stop is, and you're just going to ruin everything that you've been trying to do. Come up with your own ideas. In days Avi doesn't show up, you'll have confidence that you know what you're doing. And when he's not here, you'll have that confidence. It says, I know what I'm doing and not, running for the hills.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Shane. Absolutely, guys. Again, power of the community here is we can share ideas, bounce ideas, have discussions. We can do it together live, share our emotions when we're trading live. All this stuff counts. What it's not good for is copying, which is unfortunately what most of the internet believes. You join a chat room or a mentorship group or something to copy somebody. It's just unfortunate. That's the perception. But I think everyone in here now knows you're going to blow it all up. And people who don't know trading will tell you, yeah, just go copy the guys who know what they're doing, like Shane said. But no, don't do that. Doesn't work. Absolutely doesn't work. Cool. All right, guys. I think that was fun. It's been a fun quarter so far this year. I'll be off to Vancouver, pack, take a nap, and get to the airport. And get back into it. Was it the 6th of April, whatever the Monday is, the 7th. I'll be terribly jet lagged. Anyways, I'll be in Vancouver. Some of you guys are going to be there. I encourage you all to use the Discord, use the chat room. It's over there for, you can trade live, whatever you like. I'll try and pop in whenever I can, but we'll be in the middle of like 250 people in Vancouver. So I doubt I'll be online very much at all. Yeah, Piyush?
Just a reminder, those of you going to Vancouver, please check the Vancouver channel. I'll be looking for a place to get together on Friday. For those of you that are in on Friday early enough to meet up for either happy hour or dinner or whatever, that would be great.
Yes, awesome. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, those of you coming to Vancouver, make sure you have notifications on in our little Vancouver group in our Discord, and that's where we'll get active and try and get together.
All right, all
Cool.
you guys going to Vancouver, have fun, be safe.
Thank you, thank you. We'll try to be safe. See if we can make it there in one piece to begin with. Freaking long journey. But cool. Thanks, guys. Take it easy. Have fun, and we'll keep in touch, of course. I'll talk to you all very, very, very soon.
Bye, Avi.
Yeah,
Have a
safe
safe
journey.
journey. Safe journey. See you in
Thanks,
Portland.
Avi.
Have a
Thanks,
nice
guys.
day.